I'll click record. I'll just get it to you. No big deal.
Sorry.
No problem. Pass you the screen, Ed. Today is the Wrecking Ball SMS Q A. There's a couple of really quick updates that we're going to have Ed show you, and then we'll take any questions that you may have. Not a whole lot of you here today, and it's a beautiful Friday where I'm at, so I don't have any issue with this call being as short as it can be, but as long as necessary. So we're going to tear right into it. It is, in fact, 3 o'clock Eastern. Ed, why don't you go ahead and show them the two quick updates, and then we'll take some Q&A, and we'll let everybody get on with their Friday.
Okay. First thing is going to be found inside the admin and inside the client side. You're going to go to Settings, and we've included this link here. It's called Check Messages Length. And what that's going to do, that's going to tell you if your messages are too long to be sent via SMS. So what's going to happen if you're using long code, what's going to happen is it's going to error out at Twilio and your message won't be sent. So we always want to make sure that you're under 160 characters. This already includes the append text, which is your stop message. Here, I'll show you. This is your stop message. So all your messages should be under 145 characters. So always keep that in mind. Always be cognizant, too, when you're using the name tag. There might be some of those names that are pretty long, like 12 to 16 characters. So you always want to keep your messages probably just a little bit shorter than going to the full max 145. And this way it'll ensure all your messages get sent. And like I said before, that can be found inside of your client center. You just go to Settings, click on SMS information, and click on Check Messages Length. Next, I want to show you guys this too. We've added this. Here, let me go back to the admin here. I'll go to Settings. We have this SMS append text. This is the override. If you have this checked up here and you put your message in, this is going to override all your clients, and they're going to use your admin stop append text. Okay, I just want you to be cognizant of that. And as you're typing, this error message is going to pop up. This isn't an error that you need to report to the support desk. That's just making you aware that what's going to happen is going to change all your messages. So let's say you're 2 years in a Wrecking Ball, you have all your campaigns created, and you decided you want to add an S at the end of at the end of ends, let's say. What's going to happen is it's going to change all of your message lengths. So you're going to have to come back in here just to make sure that all your messages that you created are all in compliance with the 160 character limit for Twilio. The next thing that we've added, if you go to keywords, and this is going to be an update coming probably in the next couple of days. Let me click on any campaign here. It's called Perpetual SMS, and this is going to be added into the keyword and the contest. And what this is going to allow you to do, let's say you had a message here and a message here. But let's say if somebody texts in during like the Christmas holiday season, you can set a date for like December 1st to December 30 or December 23rd or whatever. And what you could do is have this message fire instead of your regular campaign message. And then after the last end date, it'll go back to whatever you have set as the default. We are going to add the ability to do campaign SMS and the if message, so you better change both of those. Next, we're going to add it to the contest, and this is going to allow you, let me get this to come up. When we add it here, you're going to be able to edit your gift message, your loser message, and your if message the same way via date. So that's another cool feature we've added. And then some of you, this is going to be coming up in a couple weeks. If you're aware of the contest inside Project Loyalty, it allows you to do strings like this. You want to have the second visitor, the third visitor, and the 100th visitor. In this case would be subscribers, would be a winner. We're going to allow this to happen inside this winner number. So now you're not just pigeonholed to have every 2 like that. You'll be able to do 2, 100, and I'm trying to type here in the dark, and 1,000. Now, if you ever want to have it to where it's just only one person receives.
How come you're in the dark?
My office has really bad lighting.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you hadn't even bothered to climb out of your sleeping bag. I thought maybe just laid in bed. Oh, I got to do a call. Okay, back to bed. I wasn't
I'm
sure.
kind of working off the light of my monitor right now.
I see.
So if you ever just want to have just one winner in the entire contest, you would do 0 and then a number. So just the 1,000th person to subscribe to that keyword would be a winner. So that's another cool feature. And that's about it as far as new features, and we're ready to take any questions that you might have.
Any questions at all, feel free to type in here while you guys are typing. I'll tell you guys a little story. I'm headed north right after the call here today, and I'm going to go insulate my shack. So I didn't tell you about this yet, Ed, either, you know. So I don't want to use, if you guys know anything about building construction, Ed, I know you do. It's a non-vented roof, so I don't want to fill it up with fiberglass because you know it's going to create mold, so I'm looking for foam. I'm looking for pink foam, right? I get on the Craigslist, and there's somebody on Craigslist. It's got thousands of sheets of 4x8, 1-inch R5 foam. Perfect. I call them up, coming to get some. Met them down there at 6 o'clock this morning, grabbed 30 sheets. Well, it's the University of Minnesota, and they're done with this foam, and as I walk in, they're building what looks like modular, like a SIPS panel. Ed, you know what a SIPS panel is, a structural insulated panel?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like they're building these SIPS panels, except on the outside skins they have tubes, these little capillary tubes. I asked the professor, the guitar-playing professor, you know, that was selling me the stuff, what do you guys do? Are you building, you know, is this some kind of building, you know, architecture project for the U of M or whatever? No, they're catching neutrons. I said, huh? They're building these things, and what they are is they're freaking neutron antennas, and they haul them to Alaska, and then they shoot with a proton gun a bunch of neutrons underground through the earth from Chicago to Alaska, and then they decide if they can catch them or not.
Oh, my God.
Okay? This is a $780 million project. The U of M's portion of it is $45 million to build these antenna things. They're in a rented building the size of the frickin' Metrodome. And here's the kicker. These antenna structure arrays that they build with these foams are 10 foot by 12 foot by 32 feet. So no matter which way you put it on the trailer, it's a wide load, it's a permit load, and they're building them here and shipping them to Alaska.
How the heck are they going to pull that off?
They're actually at the end of the project. That's why they're selling off all the extra foam.
Wow.
Apparently,
What's the practical use of this?
I asked him that. I said, so what's the practical use of that? And I got a very candid, snide, well, the implications are numerous. I got a very, you know, shut up, don't screw with my research grant from the professor.
Sounds like some Tesla stuff.
They're shooting apparently a constant beam of neutrons through the Earth up to Alaska, and right now they've managed to figure out a way to catch like 1 in every 400 billion.
Wow, it's a pretty good average.
I guess. So I thought that was just some interesting numbers and some interesting math, and I'm going to use it to illustrate the point that nothing is unreasonable. If you can convince somebody that that the value in doing it is worth more than the money they're spending, they will spend the money.
Oh, absolutely.
Take that to heart, folks. Just a little sideline story. That's how I woke up this morning, catching neutrons. On the Wutex Wbsms TCPA consent message, where do we go to edit that message, Ed?
That is, if you're using shortcode, that is static, and that is, we have to assure that all of our users are using compliant message. So we have control of that. I would recommend, because it shows the first name of the business, and then a colon, and then it says your part to join XXX alert, XXX being the contest name, or here say just contest, or here would be hello 98 alerts. You can name that whatever you want to be more descriptive. You can even make it save 20%, join hello 98 alerts. That's one way to do it. But I want you guys to be aware too, if you're converting over from long codes to short codes for your list, we are going to be adding in the next, hopefully 24 hours, I'm going to say, the ability to have a checkoff where it will automatically send them over to the short code to subscribe to the new campaign, the compliant campaign, and they'll get sent the yes message automatically. You won't have to do that from your end. If you guys remember, I've sent several of you this text file which shows you how to set up the campaign to renew your existing subscriber base to your new long code compliant messages or compliant list.
Perfect. And then where, Ed, can they edit the color and styling that their clients see for specifically the green and blue backgrounds is what Sajal's wanting to know.
Yeah, this is something that we changed probably about 3 months ago. It used to be all static green, and people were getting kind of bored of that. If you go into your admin, click on Manage, click on Settings, and then click on Layout, all the settings that you need to change colors, borders, border radiuses, and font colors, they're all right here. And you have the ability to change your background image and your logo too here. Because everybody says they're stuck with this Wtext logo, and they're not. All you do is come in here and choose your file, and then hit Save, and it will update it.
Wonderful. Let's see here. That was weird. My screen just blanked, but now it's back. My laptop's probably dying. Let's see. Albert wants to know, in the Wrecking Ball dashboard, I'm getting a message, please set your append text, otherwise your message will not be delivered via shortcode. I now have keyword for shortcode and can't figure out how to make the adjustments.
Well, Albert, if you were on the call at the very beginning, I just went over that. To send via shortcode, you have to have a stop message. Either you're going to set that here, client by client, or you're just going to come in here, click on Manage, click on Settings, and then set it universally here, and then check this box off right here, and then click on Save, and everybody will share that same stop text message.
Okay. And I'm moving stuff around here. Let's see. Is there a way to make a change in a repeating scheduled message without making a new event? For example, cancel day one in a sequence. That would have to be done on a number-by-number basis from the scheduler, wouldn't it, Ed?
Yes, it would.
Okay, so go ahead and pull up the scheduler real quick. You would have to find that message, Rick, because it would be posted into the scheduler, and from there you'd have to, I think you could edit the time, though, of the message, right?
This is a dev platform, so it's not working for me.
Oh.
They're doing work on it.
Right.
They're working on converting over to the new scheduler that we set up.
Yeah, I can't remember, Rick, if you can edit the time currently, but we're changing this calendar out to match the more robust calendar that we've got in other places, and then that'd be no problem. There may even be a way we can put a search in so you could search for a phone number in the calendar. If that's a easy one to think about, Ed. I don't know. Just ideas. Of course, yeah. You'll remind me 3 months from now about it, and I'll say, I don't remember having that idea.
We already did that.
Yeah. Let's see. We're still, David wants to know about help and stop messages and the editability of them. And basically, this is what's happening, guys, on our end. TCPA changes on October 16th scared a lot of people. We took the most compliant and foolproof and safest route for you guys across the board. We're kind of just watching everything to see how some things shake out, right? So we can get an accurate gauge of what the industry standard really is. And then we'll probably be loosening the belt and editing some things. But right now, while everything's in flux, we're just doing what we can to make sure that we've added as much protection to our systems for you guys as we possibly can. So that'll come up in the future again. And that's when that'll be addressed, the ability to do some different things with help and stop messages. But for now, we kind of want to see what's going to happen and how many people are going to get sued and how hard people are going to look at the specific language
Yeah, we're hoping it's going to be like the kind of like the email can spam act that they enacted years ago. As soon as they enacted that, they started going after people for like the first 2 months, and after that, they just forgot about it. Now everybody gets their spam again.
Yeah, and you know, quite honestly, this could just be, you know, a patent scare. But we, you know, when the patent scare came up, we did what we thought was necessary to avoid those troubles. And now that we were in fact right and the patent issue's dead, you know, we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. And this is kind of that same situation. So.
And I'm going to point out too, man, there's a lot of companies out there. I'm not going to point any fingers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies that are still sending messages from short codes with no stop message, no compliance. And we've already got wind on the second day of compliance. One of those big companies that are online advertising have already lost their short code. So that's why we are going to kind of monitor this for the first couple months to make sure we're in compliance, we're okay, and that we're going to survive this storm for the first couple months.
Okay. Sujal says, can you show him how to link a keyword that he purchased over at WootText into the system here?
There's two ways to do it. The first way is if you're a client. Now, obviously, the client's going to have some sort of keyword credits added to his package. But what they would do is they would come over here to add credits. And let's wait for this to load. And you come over here to add keyword. And this is a way to add it directly into the client account. You have to be inside of his account, and then you choose a keyword, check availability, and give it a second to think. Then click on add, and then give it a second to load. And then you'll see here at the very bottom it's been added, but it's not assigned to any campaign yet. So just choose your campaign type from up here, go to keyword, I'm going to go to flood, and then let's go to MQ's test, that's a little more complete. And we'll choose USA, and then I'm going to choose yellow 99, and click on save. So that's one way to do it. The other way is if your keyword is stuck over at WootNet, or if you brought it in through the admin, you're going to go to settings, click on shortcode info, and then you're going to come over here to add keyword. Now if you added a keyword over at WootNet that already exists, it's going to tell you as soon as you put it in here. It's going to say you already own this keyword, it's not attached to any install, add to install now. Or you could just go yellow, you want the keyword yellow 100, you're going to check availability, you're going to click on add. Now all that's doing when I click on add is it's adding it to the admin account. So you want to take it one step further if you want to add it to a client. You're going to come over here to this round arrows here, and you're going to choose the user you want to add that to. I'm going to send it to Oz. Click on that. Are you sure you want to transfer this keyword? And then when you go into your campaign for that client, you'll be able to add that shortcode keyword.
Super bitchin', ultra fantastic. Bill wants to know, Dave, where's the best place to look for a discussion on the process of integrating and leveraging Project Loyalty with Wrecking Ball SMS? Refer back to the Project Loyalty call that happened earlier this week on Tuesday. The recording is posted, and we actually covered that in depth, Bill, on Tuesday's call. So that worked out well. Mike wants to know, on the send broadcast text, under the credit details, just before you send a message, you can choose to disable shortcode or disable long code. What happens if I don't check either, or if I check both?
It all depends on how your client subscribed. If they subscribe via long code, that message can only be sent via long code. So even if you check off only use short code, they're only going to get the message via the long code. So you just want to get in the habit when you're sending that message to have them both unchecked, because you want to be able to service both your clients. Otherwise, when you do that send, it's going to ignore all the clients in the long code.
Okay. Let's see. Where can we find the cron job script for the appointment reminder? I'm on GoDaddy.
Is he talking about ARP or the appointment reminder built into here?
I don't know. The appointment reminder built into Wrecking Ball, or the standalone ARP, Sam?
I can tell you the appointment reminder inside of here, it's already been done as soon as you installed Wrecking Ball when you did your initial cron job. That services that appointment reminder system.
Gotcha. Where does the Project Loyalty subscriber list reside? I know you can have it flow into Wrecking Ball, but where is it if we don't? It's inside of Project Loyalty. Let's see. And Sam says Wrecking Ball, so yeah, Sam, you don't need an additional cron job. Yeah, and David's
Yes.
got... I'm sorry, go ahead, Ed.
Sam, if you've never done a cron job, you're going to want to go into the Wrecking Ball members area, and we have all the necessary coding that's required that you can plug into your cron system on your cPanel or your server, whatever kind that you're using.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. He might have never plugged one in, I suppose, because if he wasn't using the scheduler. Let's see. Is there a list of compatible autoresponders?
Yes.
Well, yes and no, Kip. And I'll explain it here. Ed's going to pull them up real quick. But many, many, many autoresponders. We'll let Ed show this here real quick. I think we have 6 in here.
How do I get there?
Under double opt-in. Yeah.
There we go. To be under autoresponder,
Yep.
and then here's the choices right here.
So that's what we have in there. Aweber, MailChimp, iContact, Constant Contact, Vertical Response, Get Response. However, if you set that to Aweber, Ed, real quick, basically what you have there is a field to paste in web form code. Okay? Virtually any autoresponder, if you generate a web form, an unstyled web form, and just paste the raw HTML code into that box, it will work. So you have to test it, but that's the deal. So virtually any autoresponder will work with Wrecking Ball. Just set it to Aweber and paste in the unstyled raw HTML web form code that you generate inside of your autoresponder. Let's see. Let's see. Are you considering adding send reach? There's a lot of things always constantly be considered.
I can speak to that.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, we ran across somebody in the support desk probably about a month ago, and apparently they said that SendReach is creating a script to accept a ping post from us. So basically, all you would need to do is come in here and set a trigger URL, and we'll probably get some instructions that we have not heard since then that it's ever been completed. But our system is ready to handle that trigger right now.
Yeah. So most of the time on these integrations, it's, and again, Kip, if you generate a web form with SendReach and just plug it into that Aweber field, it will work. So, I mean, that part of it is usable now. We've had conversations with SendReach about doing some deeper SMS integration, but we haven't heard back from them. So they reached out to us, and we just haven't heard back. Let's see. There's another Project Loyalty question. We're going to, Mike, it's as simple as going into Project Loyalty. And Ed, can you show them where to manage the subscriber list? Can you pull up a Project Loyalty install real quick?
Surely.
I know it's not a Project Loyalty webinar, but no big deal. So yeah, Mike's talking about managing his subscriber list.
All right, so if you want to manage his subscriber list, you're going to do, if you want to send, you're going to do it from here. Let's do send SMS, and then put in our message, and you select the group that you want to send it to. If you actually want to see your subscriber list, you're going to come back over here to locations, and then there's this members column. Just pick the one that you want, select it, and you can see all the numbers here in the list.
Cool. Thanks, Ed. Mike says, question, explanation point, so we must have hit it. I think I got them all, guys. I think I got them all. So if you have a question, get it in quick. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up. And
Going once.
yeah, going once, going ahead. I wish I was an auctioneer. I'd do some of that shit for you. But the chatter, I think they call that. Is the TCPA compliant message also hard-coded into Canada? Currently it is, David. Currently it is. All right, thanks to you guys too. Lots of stuff going on next week in the Thursday Think Tank. Lots of stuff going on all the way around. Watch for more news about Viral Kiosk Pro. We debuted that last night. If you haven't had a chance to watch that replay, I suggest you do it. It's going to be a pretty cool piece of software. And we'll keep you all up to speed. I am northbound, but I'll be back midday Sunday, and I'm sure I will talk to all of you sometime next week. So have a great weekend, everybody. See you later.